It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz program here in the Prince George's schools where we test science IQs. Test your own and play along with us today. Let's meet today's teams. First, from Tulip Grove Elementary School, would you say hello to Alex Mosquios, Eli Ephraim, and Julian Aguayo. And from Vansville Elementary School, here they are. Say hello to Dean Lockett, Kaylin Rapp, and Yashi Gouda. And now, here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions there on the left worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. Never any points taken away for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these talented, good-looking teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to the semifinal round for the elementary schools. Let's make sure everything works properly before we start. Let's go to the red team, and Eli, let's give that buzzer a push. All right, it looks and sounds good. Try it one more time for me. Okay, good. Good luck to you, to Julian, and to Alex. And Kaylin, how about the green teams? Ready and raring to go over there too. Dean and Kaylin and Yashi. I just have to say congratulations right now. No matter what happens, you've won, because your schools picked you to be here as ambassadors. You are great students no matter what happens. Let's have a great game. T before V, since we go alphabetically, that means Eli. Let's play the bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5, please.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, if you go to Hawaii, some of the ladies there, even some of the men, will wear skirts made of this green thing, Vansville.
Seaweed?
Not seaweed. Tulip Grove, skirts made of?
Kelp.
Grass. Grass skirts in Hawaii. Try again, please. Red. Eli.
Let's get physical for 10.
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, the reason why your potato chips stay crisp in the bag and don't get all soggy is because that bag is filled not with air, but this gas, Vansville.
Nitrogen?
Nitrogen. Good answer. Absolutely. Largely non-reactive, the most abundant gas in the atmosphere. Good. Green, go.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, doctors are now putting some electronic devices in this body art. Vansville.
Tattoos?
Tattoos, absolutely right. That ink can now detect things like your heart rate and other things very paper thin. Good, nicely done. Go green.
Oh,
You're getting a little anxious over there. Go ahead,
Science
Caleb.
Potpourri for 10.
Science Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, some people don't hear actually what is said sometimes, like the person who confused bread with this milk sugar by saying, Eli.
I like to pass it to Alex.
Alex.
Being deaf.
Not being deaf. No, listen, Vansville, I'll finish it for you. Some people don't hear things quite properly, sometimes confusing bread with this milk sugar and calling it lactose intolerance instead of what kind of milk sugar?
Lactose?
It is lactose intolerance, absolutely right. So, sometimes you hear it, you think, wonder what they really were saying. Nice comeback there. Okay, Yoshi. Nice try, Alex. Go, Kaylin.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, because palms don't have a woody trunk and really no branches. They're really not these. Vansville?
Trees.
Trees, yeah, we call them palm trees, but they aren't technically that. Good listening over there. All right, Kaylin, go again.
Super 8 for 10.
Super 8 for?
10.
10 points. Teams, if you are in a court and the judge is against you, and the defendant knows that there's no way you're going to win, sometimes that crooked court is named for this most popular Australian marsupial. Vansville.
Kangaroo.
A kangaroo court is what they call. Yes, ma'am. Good. Go.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Recently, Hillary Clinton appeared on a television show with Zach Galifianakis, and it's called Between Two of These Plants That Normally Grow on the Floor of the Forest and Reproduce via Spores. Vansville.
Moss.
Not moss. Good try. Between Two what plants was the name of the TV show? Plants that normally grow on the floor of the forest and reproduce via spores, Eli.
Ferns.
Ferns, that's what I want to hear. Okay, good comeback. Nice teamwork there, guys. Go, Eli.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 should have been turned out. That one is gone.
No, you gave them the zoo parade instead of green things. So green things is, zoo parade is still available.
Zoo Parade is still available for 5 points, okay? Whatever you'd like.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If you are worried about an awful lot, you, like the mythological Atlas, are carrying the world on your what? Vansville?
Shoulder.
Your shoulders, that's right. Yeah, you're too young to have the world on your shoulders. Okay, go green.
Let's get physical for Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline Science for 10 points. Teams, this is a shame. It has been 53 years since a woman last won one of these top science prizes. Vansville?
Nobel Prize.
No woman has won a Nobel for 53 years. Yes, ma'am. Good. Go.
Science Potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, Chevrolet's electric car has the same name as the last name of this fastest man on earth.
Bolt.
Tulip Grove.
Usain Bolt.
Bolt, absolutely right. The Chevy Bolt and Usain Bolt, just like Julian told you. Nice answer, Julian. Okay, go Eli, go.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams, the World Health Organization recently announced that the Americas, North, Central, and South, are free of this childhood disease characterized by a rash. Tulip Grove.
Smallpox.
Not smallpox, this childhood disease characterized by a rash. Recently, we have wiped it out in the Americas, Kaylin.
Polio.
Measles. Measles is gone. Oh, the buzzer says our first round is over. It's been a good one and a fast one. Let's check that score. Vansville 115, Tulip Grove 70. Round 2 coming up in a moment. Don't you go away. Welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you here today joining us in this, our 31st year of Science Bowl. And our students, our competitors keep getting better and better. Let's go and meet the 6 who are playing our game today. They are all wonderful. First from Tulip Grove Elementary with your matching shirts over there. Eli, welcome back to you because you were here before. And Julian and Alex, nice to have you here for the very first time. Eli, tell us about Tulip Grove. Where is it?
Bowie.
In Bowie, yeah. And you're temporarily in another building now, aren't you? And awaiting a return to a new school. What grade are you in, Eli?
5th.
5th grade. And who's the principal at your school?
Miss Coffin.
Wonderful. Out there rooting for you. And who's your sponsor?
Mr. Taylor and Mr. Lane.
Wonderful. And the sponsors will be out in just a few moments. They're waiting back there. And you have no alternates on the team. It's just you 3 guys. And so far, that's been more than enough. Tell me something about Tulip Grove that you want everybody to know, Eli. Something that's really neat that you like to brag about.
That, well, it's really fun and we get to do, the teachers really help us learn a lot. We have a lot of hands-on projects.
A lot of hands-on projects. See, Julian, he's helping you out. He's a good colleague over there. He's whispering stuff to you. And you mentioned a key word there, Eli, fun. If school is not fun, you know, you're just not going to have your heart in it. And the teachers, if they have your interests at heart, you're in a good place. Eli, someday, what do you want to do?
I would like to be a football player or an electrical engineer.
Absolutely, two great aspirations. You could do both. You could have a career in the NFL and then move on and do something in engineering. Good to have you back again. Julian, nice to have you here. Tell us, how do you know so much about science? Because you do.
Well, because when I was younger, I read a lot of books about science.
Yeah, you must have been very young when you were reading those books and everything really stuck. Tell me what you do in your spare time.
In my spare time, I like to read realistic fiction books. One of my favorite authors is Andrew Clements.
Wonderful, wonderful. And tell me about what you want to do someday.
Well, someday I want to be an engineer for, a mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineer. We were talking about that earlier too. And I'm forgetting my manners. Who's the fella sitting to your left
His
there?
name is Grover.
Grover. And Grover is a?
Tiger.
Tiger, very good. He's bringing you some luck today here. Alex, nice to have you here today. Alex, you told me earlier that you like to stay active.
Yes.
Why is that important?
Because I like to be healthy.
Yeah, and you know, if you keep that blood flowing and you keep that agenda going, keeps your brain active, that's the way to live. You got that figured out at a young age. And I know like you like to read as well in your spare time, don't you?
Yes.
And you're interested in paleontology, correct?
Yes.
How'd you get interested in dinosaurs?
Well, I got into sharks, and like paleontologists dig for shark teeth and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been down to Calvert Cliffs?
Yes.
Yeah, because the shark teeth are down there on the beach. That's pretty cool that you're holding those things in your hand that are so very old. Nice to have you with us today, Alex. Vansville, nice to have you guys here, and you're matching shirts as well over there. And you've got a paw print on there for what, Kaylin?
Wildcats.
The Wildcats. And you are wild and crazy contestants over there. You're just having a great time here today. We love having you here, just as we do the guys here at Tulip Grove. Vansville is over in Vansville, right off Route 1 there. And who's your principal?
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And he has been there at that school since its inception. He's just a great guy. And tell me, who is the sponsor of your team?
Miss Brown.
And she is wonderful. She was out there in front. She was giving you high fives and all. She is so behind you. And Tracy, thank you for all you do. And also Christopher, everybody involved in the coaching of these two fine schools. Let me ask you what I asked Eli. What's a neat thing about Vansville?
The staff members are really great there. They really help you if you have any questions or concerns, and we do a lot of experiments, and they're really fun.
That is great. And your school's an experiment. It's a green school, one of the first. And I remember, you know, you've got geothermal heating and all kinds of things, recycled materials over there. Tell me, Kaylin, where are we going to see you someday? Because you are a born performer.
I want to be a chemist because I want to create my own cosmetics line.
Yeah, but you told me that you've been performing too. What have you done?
I used to be a model, and now I'm a basketball player. We just won nationals in South Carolina.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Congratulations. That's a real achievement there. And let's find out about your teammates here. Yashi, tell me about yourself. You also seem to know an awful lot about science. Have you been reading a lot?
Yeah, reading is one of my favorite hobbies, and my sister helps me a lot too when I'm stuck, and she's also a really good person, and she's like the only person that helps me out.
Oh, is your sister older than you are?
Yeah, she's 3 years older than me.
Where does she go to school?
She goes to CMIT Academy.
Very nice. They're going to be a contestant on Science Bowl in just a few weeks' time here. So, yeah, you're setting a pretty high standard for her. You're doing a really nice job here. And someday, what are you going to do?
I want to be a zoologist and also go to Harvard to get my PhD in zoology.
Wow, you've got it all planned out, don't you? I like that. You've got your act together, playing a really nice game. And Dean, you also have an interest, as Alex does, in paleontology. And where did that come from?
Since second grade, I've been interested in dinosaurs, and I got more interested in different fossils and other prehistoric animals.
Yeah. And you know, it's kind of a natural, because we all kind of regret that we missed being around when the dinosaurs were here. It's like, gosh, you know, the bones are good. Jurassic Park, even if we see it 50 times, it doesn't quite make up for the fact that they're not here right now, right? Well, you're playing a good game too. What do you do in your spare time, Dee?
I play basketball and baseball, and I like playing video games and read.
Yeah, a real well-rounded guy over there. Scholar, athlete, nice to have you here. Let's get back to our game. Vansville 115, Tulip Grove 70. Last correct answer came from Eli. Lots of high-valued questions remain. Where to?
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, renal failure is especially life-threatening when it occurs in a person who has already donated a what? Vansville.
Liver?
Not a liver. Tulip Grove, renal failure is especially dangerous if it occurs in someone who has already donated a what?
Kidney.
Kidney, yeah. Renal is a word that refers to kidneys. Okay, nice comeback. Go red.
Zuparade for 20.
Zuparade for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. On the African plains, suddenly flowers and trees that never grew there before are growing because a lot of the large mega herbivores are being wiped out by Tulip Grove. You want to tell me, Eli?
Shooting? No. Hunting?
Not quite. Remember the categories: Zuparade, Vansville, flowers, trees, never before seen on the African plains, now starting to grow because a lot of the large mega herbivores are being wiped out by poachers. I'll give you the points if you can give me 2 of those large mega herbivores.
Cape elephants and rhinoceros.
Yeah, absolutely right. The other was the hippopotamus. Nicely done. Go green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. Teams, there is a beautiful island in the Indian Ocean called Mauritius, and they just started a new tourist campaign. They want you to come visit. They say, come to Mauritius and visit our friendliest resident, which happens to be this extinct bird that is the symbol of extinction. Vansville.
A dodo bird?
The dodo bird. Yeah, the dodo's long gone, but they're still using the dodo as a lure to get you to come to see where the dodo once was. Good. Vansville.
Zuparade for 15.
Zuparade for 15 points. Team, some entomologists call these insects social cockroaches. They are insects that build large mounds and are famous for eating wood. Vansville.
Termites?
Termites, yeah. Social cockroaches. I don't think the termites like that. That's a very bad PR move. Good. Go. Green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points. Teams, the actor Chris Pratt, who was in Jurassic World, is now in a new movie called The Magnificent Seven. It was so hot when he was filming that movie, he said it was 145 degrees. Not Fahrenheit, but this. Vansville.
Celsius?
Celsius, yeah, you knew it was hot. He was, of course, exaggerating. Go green.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, tomato seeds were taken into space many years ago to see how they would fare with all of that cosmic radiation. You couldn't really easily grow tomatoes in space because there is no natural way for them to be what? Vansville.
Germinated?
Not germinated. There is no natural way for those tomato plants to be what?
Watered?
Not watered. Pollinated. Pollinated so that they would actually produce the fruits. Okay, nice try, both teams. Go again, green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, this chemical element and nutrient that our bodies need, but too much of which can lead to heart disease, is often labeled on the side of food containers as low or light. Tulip Grove.
Calories?
Not calories. No. Vansville.
Fat.
Sodium. Sodium is what we're looking for there. Try again, please. Green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, there's a little nursery rhyme that talks about stars. It goes, yes, Kaylin.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Little star, how I wonder what you are. Absolutely right. Astronomers now are learning to take the twinkle out of the stars so they can see them better with this new 30-meter telescope they've developed. Go, green.
Zuparade for 5.
Zuparade for 5 points. Teams, the Hawaiian crow has never been seen using a circular saw, a hammer, or a crowbar, but it is rare among birds because it can use what? Vansville.
Its beak.
Not quite. You didn't listen to the first part. Even though it's never been seen using a circular saw or a hammer or a crowbar, the Hawaiian crow has been known to use these
Wrench.
tools in general. They use tools. Try again, please. Green.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Boy, you thought secondhand smoke was dangerous before. Now scientists say that this carcinogen in cigarette smoke can actually go through your skin. Vansville.
Tobacco?
Not quite, not quite. Tulip Grove. What carcinogen can actually go through your skin?
Nicotine?
Nicotine, absolutely right. Yes, I'm really glad you didn't know that answer. That shows that the anti-smoking campaign is really having an effect. Go again, red. Nice comeback, Eli.
Let's get physical for 25.
Get physical for 25. The big one in that category. Teams, this chemical element, which is kind of silvery, actually is associated with the color blue and has the symbol CO. Vansville. Tough question. What chemical element? CO. Kind of blue.
I'd like to pass it to Yashi.
Yashi, what you think?
Carbonate?
Not carbonate. Good try.
I'd like to pass it to Julian.
Come on, Julian.
Cobalt.
That's what I want to hear. Cobalt blue. Yes, sir. Good. Go. Green things for 25 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please, teams. Back in colonial days, in order to stuff mattresses and pillows, they used the fluffy seeds from this familiar plant, Kaylin.
Dandelion?
Not dandelion. Good try. These are the fluffy seeds of what plant that were used as mattress and pillow stuffers, Eli?
Cotton?
Milkweed. Milkweed. Try again, please, red. Don't beat yourself up. Keep going.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, a multiple choice question. The reason why clothes keep us warm is because they trap a layer of heat next to us, keeping it from being replaced by cold air. Is that kind of heat transfer that it's stopping convection, conduction, or radiation? Which of those three, Vansville?
Convention?
Convection it is. Yes, indeed. Go. Green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, sometimes you see these little floaters in your eye. They go and you go look at them and they go away. They are formed by what same process that forms dew on grass in the morning? Vansville.
Evaporation?
Not evaporation. Tulip Grove.
Condensation.
Condensation is right. That's the way to do it. Go red.
Okay.
Go ahead, Eli.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, if you go to your dentist and your dentist says, no, your cavities, you don't have any cavities, but you have periodontal disease, you have got gingivitis, he doesn't have to treat your teeth because what part of your mouth is diseased, Vansville?
Gums.
Your gums, yeah, that's right. Green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, aspirin, which was invented by Bayer, is a pain reliever. So do we call it an antibiotic, an antiseptic, or an analgesic? Which of those three, Tulip Grove?
Analgesic.
Analgesic is right. Yes, sir. Good. Red. Three questions left. Let's do a score update here. 220 Vansville, 165, 170, excuse me, Tulip Grove. So you can see what you've got to do here still. Anybody's game. Go, Eli.
DATELINE science for 25.
For 25 points, a visual question. Look at the monitor, please. Back in 1911, Crisco was invented. It is a solid shortening. A lot of people have cooked with it for years. But they changed the formula of Crisco because before, 100% of it was this kind of T-initialed fat that we now are... Vansville.
Trans fat?
Trans fats, right. They have all been replaced in Crisco and many things we eat. Go green. Nicely done.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25 points. Multiple choice question, teams. There is a lizard in South America that changes all of its hemoglobin, which is red.
Chameleon?
No, Vansville. This lizard changes all of its hemoglobin into something called biliverdin, which is a toxic substance. Maybe it keeps predators away. That makes the entire lizard look like it is red, yellow, or green.
Green?
Green, yeah, biliverdin. Verdin was your clue there. Last question of the game, 25 points in the category Science Potpourri. Teams, if you saw Jurassic World, you know that the vehicle that carried the boys around as they looked at the herbivores was based on this G initial device. Vansville.
Generator?
Not a generator. Tulip Grove.
Not a Jeep.
This G initial device that has an axis that spins, but it always keeps it in the same position.
Gyroscope.
Gyroscope?
A gyroscope, absolutely right, and they called it a gyrosphere. All of our questions are gone. Our game is over. We will be right back with a wrap-up. Don't you go away. And welcome back. What a great time we had here today. We hope you enjoyed it at home as much as we did here in the studio. All of these students are winners. They played spectacularly. Our final tally today is Tulip Grove 195, Vansville 270. Boy, are they excited over there. Dean and Kaylin and Yashi, congratulations. And look at the two alternates back there. Wave to everybody. Ian and Shelby and Miss Brown. They couldn't have done any better. Congratulations. Let's see some smiles over here, guys. You played a super game. Eli, Julian, Alex, the Tiger, they're all waving to you. And Mr. Taylor, one of the coaches, Mr. Lane, congratulations. And the principal herself showed up today. That's how much she thinks of these young men here. Miss Coffin, thank you for being here as well. What a super team, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye-bye.